Hey traders, it is Tuesday, so get out your tips, get everything ready, because Matt and Jacey with Empire Algorithmic Trading are ready to bring you your daily dose of VWAP Vision's Stock Talk.
Where the volume weighted average price helps us make sense of this crazy market, Matt. So let's get right to it. It's time for a little stock talk.
Stock Talk! Well, we're back at it here on a beautiful Tuesday, Jace. I hope you're doing well down there in Florida. But I'm anxious. I'm excited. I'm curious. What happened in the markets today?
It was a pretty quiet session, just kind of like you anticipated. I wasn't. I don't know what to anticipate with this, so I've learned just don't even try to guess. So, nice, quiet little update, setting the stage for a perfect confirmation tomorrow, right before NVIDIA earnings, which could be a
Of
catalyst for a
course.
significant move higher. So, it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow for sure. But anyhow, the S&P 500 is up 0.4%, still hunting for that green zone. Nasdaq Composite was up a little less than 0.5%. Pretty nice move back above the VWAP there for the Nasdaq. Small caps look like they might be recovering and might be potential for a move higher after their breakout of 0.8% gain today. And then same thing with the mid caps, up a little less than 0.5%. And then bonds making a really nice move, looking like a potential break out of their recent zone. Or recent trading range, I should say, into a new zone. So that could provide some tailwind for the market as well. So we could be set up for a potential next leg of this. I just want to make everybody sure that they know what I'm talking about. Like this is a bull market. Like we're in a bull market for sure. It's just this stage right here is just not really rolling. So breakouts have been challenging. They're volatile.
Right.
They come back. They shake you out. They rally up really big. We want to get in on these moves, right? When it started down here and then just kind of went up, this area was still breaking out really good. So when the S&P was down here at 55.69, it ran all the way up to 63.89. That was a smooth run. That's where the money is going to be made. Right here, this world sideways action, even though the market hasn't cratered, it's been a challenging environment for trading. And so we're just waiting for this trend to continue, right? We want this trend to continue moving higher. Then the breakouts work in our factor, but it's working quite well because a lot of stocks are kind of setting up like we talked about during week review. But I just don't want anyone sitting there going, "Oh, yeah, this guy is thinking that there's a top coming." No, not at all. I would like to see a little correction. I would like to see like a 4 to 8% dip because we're kind of in that area as far as historical rallies go. We're kind of due for that kind of trend. But this sideways action has been pretty good as well. So I'm a big believer in the market. I'm just waiting for confirmation so that all clear, we get better conditions for our style of trading. So I just wanted to kind of reiterate a little bit on where we're coming at, why we're so cautious, right? It's because
Exactly.
the volatility and the breakouts have been kind of shaking us out a little bit. We want that momentum in the right direction so we don't have to worry about being tested. And it's just a lot easier environment when the buyers are in clear control of the market. It just makes it a lot easier to trade. So that's what we're waiting
Exactly.
for. We're just waiting for confirmation that the buyers are in control instead of this up and down, because really the market hasn't done much basically since July. I mean, 63.89 is at 64.65. So the S&P hasn't even gone up 100 points in the past month. It's been down, it's been up, but it's kind of stuck right in neutral. And that just wreaks havoc on attempted breakouts. So that's pretty much where we're at.
I love that. Well, that is our breakout of the markets today, the general markets. I do have to say before we move on to our next section, I just love that you just have bomb Iran sitting there on your just
Yeah,
I just love it. But next, we're going to talk about some of our big movers, and all of these movers are either previous breakouts or previous failures that were sent to us by our algorithm and our daily buy and sell signals. And if you'd like access to those daily buy and sell signals, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading, to get access to those daily buy and sells, to get access to our arrow reviews where we talk about some of the hot looks that are coming down the pipeline. You get access to Jason and I talking about how we use those trading or those signals in our trading strategy. Again, that's at Patreon, patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading. But Jace, what happened? Who moved? Where'd they go?
It was a pretty good day. It was interesting. There was a lot of pretty decent moves to the upside.
Ooh.
HSAI, excuse me, is a perfect example of what I'm talking about with the volatility with breakouts. It
Hmm.
was up 14% today, massive move, but it collapsed like last week. It dropped a solid 11% in one day, wiped out its entire breakout, shook me out on that day because it round tripped, and I just don't hold round trips generally.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we're
You
we're
just can't.
going into a red zone. Your stock gave up a nice 15% gain. That's a red flag. 3 days later, it's right back to where it was, if not higher. So it's kind of frustrating in that regard, which is why we're just kind of letting things settle. This doesn't happen when the market's just rolling, right? You might get
Right.
occasional shakeouts, but shakeouts are pretty rare as far as this kind of action goes. So it's been a little bit challenging, but it's also nice to see this recovery. It held right at the 20-day moving average. So again, the 20-day moving average has seemed to be kind of the support line du jour since this market pretty much bottomed. So that's good to see that the support is still holding there. Buyers are still coming in at support like that. It's just a little frustrating getting whipped around consistently.
Well, and
Carmen was
it's one of
really
those where it looks like, especially with the volume behind it, it looks like maybe somebody was playing a game there too.
Yeah, it's possible. This was, I mean, that's just an ugly look. I mean, a big spike in volume, and like I said, it wiped out that earnings gap. So, yeah, of course, you're going to raise the flags, you're going to get defensive and take some either profits or come back at a wash on it, and then you see that 3 days later, it's like, man, so it just brings up doubt into the plans, right? Into the rules. You're like, man, maybe I should revisit the rules. Well, not really. You do a
No.
bigger analysis and you look long term, and it still makes sense. It's just when the market's in a mode like this, it just makes it really difficult. We just want that momentum. Makes it a lot easier.
Yep.
Carmen, a nice strong
Ah,
follow through, 3.1%. This is a really solid breakout.
yeah.
I it's really tough watching. I mean, I know I hate putting on the on I hate putting things down like this because but this is a good looking breakout. And if it wasn't in a red zone, I probably would already have a position on it. So I hate seeing seeing these lose. I hate losing out on these, but I just prefer not to have that risk because this thing could pull an HSI. The whole market could
Yep.
sell off tomorrow.
Yep.
And it could do that at any time, but we just want those odds in our favor. Tarsus Pharmaceuticals, the stock is
Wow.
just on up a solid 9.96%. Monster move. The thing that just is not going to stop. And then SoFi was pretty much the only. There were some other moves, but they're already well into their corrections.
Yep.
SoFi was kind of the only stock that had a relatively notable downside day. So pretty underneath, kind of a bullish tone. A lot of strong upside moves on increasing volume. Not a lot of downside moves as far as leaders go. Just a really a good potential setup for a nice green zone tomorrow, right on the heel of NVIDIA, which could really make or break this rally. So it's a pretty interesting look today.
No kidding. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what everybody does tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. What time is NVIDIA reporting? Is it
I
after market
believe
close?
it's after the market. Yeah. So it's gonna be a potential green zone right before a potential rally killer, So
Cool.
but you just gotta trust the market, right? If
Yep.
there's breakouts tomorrow, we're in a green zone.
Yep.
Institutions are putting money to work ahead of NVIDIA earnings. That's kind of giving you the okay. So just know what you're getting into when you start doing some buying tomorrow.
Exactly. Well, that's it for us today on VWAP Vision's Daily Stock Talk. Thank you so much for listening here on Spotify, watching on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, rate, and review us. If you want to know more about who we are, what we do, where we came up with this crazy algorithm, check out our website, VWAPvision.com, VWAPvision.com. Otherwise, follow us on socials, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky X. We're on them all. We like to digest a lot of trading news. I know you do as well. So we are where you are. Follow us there. And if you want access to all of the goods, to our daily buy and sell signals from our algorithm, if you want Jason and I fill in your ear holes with some arrow reviews where we talk about what we like coming down the pipeline, and if you just want to see how and why we use the algorithm the way that we do, subscribe over at Patreon, patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading. And Jace, until arrow review, my man, happy trading, buddy.
Happy trading, friend. We'll talk to you in a little bit.